We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip, when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where we have a cool new statue, this is Ballot.
That's right, and welcome to Schrodinger's Weekend, where I both have to work, but maybe not. Let's hit this. A new statue has popped up on the National Mall, and this one's got people talking. Someone installed an 8-foot-tall sculpture called Dictator Approved, a giant golden hand giving a thumbs up while crushing the crown of the Statue of Liberty. Now, this is the same crew that brought us the poop statue last October. You remember that masterpiece? A bronze pile of excrement sitting on a replica of Nancy Pelosi's desk. Classy stuff. The artists are really establishing their brand here. We do political commentary and we do bodily functions. The new statue features quotes from world leaders praising Donald Trump. We've got Putin calling him very bright and talented, Viktor Orban saying he's the most respected, the most feared person, and Kim Jong-un referring to the extraordinary courage of President Trump. The only thing missing is a Yelp review. 5 stars! Would autocrat again. The White House responded with all the grace of a defensive teenager. Spokeswoman Abigail Jackson said, if these Democrat activists were living in a dictatorship, their eyesore of a sculpture wouldn't be sitting on the National Mall right now. Which is essentially saying, you should be grateful we let you make fun of us. That's some next-level spin right there. The permit allows the statue to stay up through Saturday, and tourists are already flocking to it. One 80-year-old visitor from Australia said he was amazed that whoever dreamed this up could put this here, and that it reminded him of Animal Farm. When your political art is making people think of dystopian literature, you might be onto something. 2 college students from Cleveland stumbled upon it, and one said, if all these authoritarian politicians approve of our president, then maybe people will see a pattern recognition and see where democracy is headed. That's some pretty sophisticated political analysis from someone who probably spent last weekend doing keg stands. The mysterious artist behind these installations remains anonymous. When contacted by the Washington Post, he denied involvement this time, writing simply, I have heard about it, but not me. He also declined to meet in an Arlington parking garage, which honestly sounds like the beginning of every political thriller ever made. Benjamin Netanyahu just compared his son's wedding postponement to the London Blitz, and the internet is having a field day with this one. The Israeli prime minister stood in front of a missile-struck hospital and solemnly declared that his family knows sacrifice too. His son Avner has had to postpone his wedding twice now due to missile threats. Now, for those keeping score at home, the London Blitz killed 43,000 civilians. Avner's wedding has been postponed twice. I'm no mathematician, but I'm seeing a slight difference in scale here. Netanyahu channeled his inner Winston Churchill while explaining this tremendous hardship. Each of us bears a personal cost, and my family has not been exempt, he said, with all the gravity of a man announcing D-Day. He went on to praise his wife Sarah as a hero for bearing this personal cost. And look, I'm sure Sarah is disappointed. She probably already ordered the flowers and everything. The prime minister's timing was particularly tone-deaf, considering 24 Israeli civilians have been killed and human rights activists estimate 263 Iranian civilian deaths. But sure, let's talk about the catering deposits. The Hebrew language internet erupted with mockery, which tells you something when even your own people are rolling their eyes. When you're getting roasted in Hebrew, you know you've really stepped in it. This comes after more than 17 years in office, leading critics to suggest Netanyahu might be a bit out of touch with reality. And honestly, when you're comparing wedding planning to the Nazis bombing London, you might want to recalibrate your perspective just a smidge. The whole thing feels very let them eat cake, except it's let them postpone weddings. Marie Antoinette would be proud. At least she never compared her lifestyle to the Black Death.
What happens when one of the most powerful men in music is accused of some of the most serious crimes imaginable? Check out the new podcast, Did He Do It? Following the federal sex crimes trial of Sean Diddy Combs, coming to you straight from New York City. Every day I'll take you inside the courtroom where prosecutors say Combs ran a criminal enterprise of sex trafficking, coercion, and abuse, using his fame, fortune, and influence to silence victims and control lives. We'll cover the big stories and the small moments that can shift the verdict. The trial has begun. The questions are piling up, and every day we'll be asking the same thing. Did he do it? Follow now wherever you get your podcasts.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Everything from clothing to household items are getting more expensive each day. The world of fast fashion has complicated clothing production by shipping cheap parts around the world to whoever can sew them the cheapest. And now you, the consumer, are paying the price with rising costs. American Giant is about keeping things simple and close to home. They aren't affected by tariffs because their products never leave the U.S. Skip the tariff and snag yourself American-made clothing with American Giant. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com. That's 20% off when you use code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com.
The State Department just announced they're restarting student visa interviews, but with a twist. Now, foreign students have to make all their social media accounts public so officials can screen them for hostility toward the United States. So basically, we're asking 18-year-olds from around the world to hand over their TikTok passwords so we can judge them by their worst posts. I don't know about you, but if I had to get a visa based on my social media history, I'd be denied entry to my own apartment. The new rules apply to all student visas, academic, vocational, and cultural exchange programs. Officials will be looking for anyone who shows hostile attitudes toward our citizens, culture, government, institutions, or founding principles. Which sounds reasonable until you realize they're asking college kids to keep their Instagram stories perpetually appropriate for government review. One policy expert said, "I don't think any American would want to be judged by their worst tweet." And he's right. Half of Congress would be deported based on their Twitter activity alone. The cable acknowledges this will be a serious burden on consulates and suggests they might need to schedule fewer visa interviews to accommodate the new social media deep dives. So we're potentially accepting fewer international students because we're too busy reading their old posts about not liking cafeteria food. And if students refuse to make their accounts public, the cable says officers should treat that as any other where an applicant fails to provide certain information on request and consider whether such refusal reflects evasiveness or otherwise calls into question the applicant's credibility. Translation: if you value your privacy, you're suspicious. Portions of today's show were made with the help of AI.
When the world's most powerful people go to war, we can't look away. Welcome to Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback. The podcast tracking the explosive conflicts shaping our world right now. Presidential administrations fracturing, tech billionaires threatening government leaders, entertainment titans destroying partnerships with single social media posts. These aren't just headlines. They're windows into how power really works. We deliver daily episodes when news explodes, weekly deep dives for perspective. From Washington power struggles to Silicon Valley vendettas, We decode the psychology behind the drama and reveal why these feuds matter far beyond entertainment. Feuds, power, pride, and payback. Today's conflicts are tomorrow's history. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
My name is Marcus Cole. I coordinated operations you'll never read about. January 2018, Tehran. We stole Iran's nuclear secrets from a warehouse in 6 hours. That heist began 7 years of shadow war that ended with Operation Rising Lion and a new podcast from Calaroga Shark Media. My brother died in 2002. I've been carrying his dog tags and calculating impossible decisions ever since, trading lives like variables in an equation. Every operation saves some people by destroying others. I keep a private file of everyone who died because of missions I planned. Their names, their families, their dreams I helped destroy. This is the story of how we prevented nuclear war and what it cost us to become the monsters who saved the world. Operation Rising Lion, the new podcast from Calaroga Shark Media. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
He thought cryptocurrency would set him free. Instead, it made him a target. Alessandro Romano flew to New York for a business meeting with his former partner. What he found was an elaborate trap. A luxury apartment turned torture chamber, where digital dreams become real-world nightmares. For 8 days, he endured unimaginable torture. His captors wanted his Bitcoin passwords. They had police protection. They had done this before. This is the true story of friendship turned to betrayal, innovation turned to exploitation, and one man's fight for survival against a system designed to break him. Crypto Kidnap. Available wherever you get your podcasts.